What's up? Welcome in, Hook and Batter, Week 9. And I don't know why we're doing this, because sports are stupid.
I'm sad.
Why do we do this? Sports are dumb.
Sports suck. This is a rough weekend.
Very rough.
Not fun.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to start with baseball anyway, so we can start with the series that is over. We are live sweating Twins, Astros over 4.5 for the first 5 innings, by the way, so here's cheer. Runs happened, but that's going on in the background. But last night, the Orioles did get swept by the Texas Rangers. It was a pretty sad way to go out. But it doesn't diminish what happened the rest of the season. But Texas is really hot right now. Sort of what we were afraid of happening did happen. Their lineup got really hot during that Rays series, and it continued all the way through. And they didn't have to really use that middle relief of their bullpen, which is their big downfall. So, huge credit to Texas. I think, and I hope that this will set up a in-state rivalry for the ALCS with Texas and Houston. But
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are upset about the format of the playoffs. Time off, all that kind of stuff. I want to get your guys' take on it. I don't really feel that way. I have other takes about MLB postseason and the way they do things, but every team would want, the 5 days off to set up your pitching. I think right now it sucks that since they've gone to this 3-game series for the wild card round, only one series out of 8 has gone to a game 3, and I think that's skewing the results pretty heavily, in my opinion. But I wanted to get your guys' take on it first.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you. I've never been the rest versus rust debate. I've always been in favor of the rest. I think it's always an advantage. I think the result is going to happen anyway. I don't really think having the week off is going to dictate too much of the results.
Yeah.
Or if anything, help the team that got the week off, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm with you on that. I think I do think that the formatting could be adjusted. Maybe do it. It's okay to do it how the NFL does it.
Right.
I think there's no shame in being this way to do it. But even then, like for the Orioles specifically, I don't think the format is why they lost.
No,
the series,
definitely not.
And it just, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I think all that's fine.
Yeah, it's a big case of what are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
They do everything they can. They give you the bye for being the best team. That's the advantage right there. It's how you handle it.
Yeah.
And maybe there was a better way to handle it for us, but I don't think so. I think we were just cold at the end of the season.
Yeah, I agree.
They were hot. It might have happened anyway.
Yeah. No, I think in the case of the Orioles, they really weren't hitting the last 2 weeks of the season anyway.
No.
So just kind of getting cold at the wrong time. My biggest gripe with the MLB playoffs is that, back in the day, they would say, oh, why do you play 162? This was a famous quote, and I don't remember who said it, but, asked, why do you play 162? And they said, because at the end of 162, you leave no questions. And so the Braves and the Orioles were the top 2 teams pretty much all year, right? They were the most consistent teams. The playoffs aren't like that. The MLB playoffs have much more variability than I think other major sports do. It has an element of, like, NCAA tournament, in my opinion, where, like, the thing about the regular season in MLB is, like, it's all about, okay, depth. Okay, do you have enough pitchers to get you through? Do you have enough, utility guys that you can plug in to get your main guys some rest? All that kind of stuff. In the playoffs, it's kind of like, do you have, like, 2 starting pitchers? Because we give you enough off days, and then, you're never going to need these utility guys, maybe one guy off the bench, but you got 2 starters and a good closer, you're probably going to win a lot of your games. So that's my biggest gripe. Obviously, you don't want to play in the wild card round because you could lose. Like, if you ask the 4 losers, they're not happy about that, obviously. Yeah. But it does give the winners a chance to get the bats hot, get confidence. So, like, I see it from that perspective. I agree. You would take the bye every time. I think the ALDS and NLDS should just be 7 games. They're the only league that does a stupid, okay, this one's 3, this one's 5, now you play 7.
Yeah, right. That's fair.
I think if you do 7, and especially if the wild card round were to go 3, like, get to a 3rd game, that would hamper their pitching quite a bit more. And then in a 7-game series, that would show up quite a bit more and allow the team that had the bye to maybe ease into the series a little bit, as opposed to you lose the first game, all of a sudden you're, like, freaking out. Like, oh, yeah.
And we've seen it over the MLB season. Any team can lose a series.
Right.
I mean, if you're going to, at some point, lose a series. So 3 games is a little – I guess, yeah, that makes sense. It's weird how the NBA is all 7 games every single round of the playoffs, but then the MLB isn't like that.
Which, if you ask me, and the NBA would never do it. And this is why the MLB should do it. Is it's more TV money, it's more gate
Right.
money. Right? The NBA would never take away games, but
Right.
if there's a league where it makes sense, it's the NBA because especially in that first round, it's like, yeah, these are probably going to be sweeps or like 4-1. It just doesn't really matter how many games you play. And I'm not saying the Orioles probably would have gotten swept 4-0, like
Yeah.
in this scenario. But I look at like the Braves, who are down like 7-2 as we started recording this, look like they might go down 2-1, might not even get to go back to Atlanta. You know, they get 2 games at home for being the number 1 seed. I get it; you're supposed to win both of them, but if they lose tomorrow, they're done, and it's like that's your reward for 105 wins is 2 games at home, and you never get to go back. I don't know. Make it 7. Make it more of a true resemblance of the season, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. Usually I'm the other way around, right? In the NBA, I'm like, put it to 1 game, get the lower seeds to win some games.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. In baseball, it kind of seems to make more sense because you do make a good point. It's like you really only need 3 starters, and if you have to, you can patch together that 4th game.
Exactly.
But if it's 7 games, you need all your starters to pitch.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. That's tough. But these past 2 years have been weird.
Yeah, very.
They've been very odd. So maybe they will shake some things up.
If there was reseeding, would they have still gotten the Phillies, the Braves?
No, that's the other point. The Braves would have had the Diamondbacks, and I think we can tell the Phillies really are the second best team in the NL.
And we talked about that.
And, we kind of end up they're a bad matchup for the Braves. So I get it, right? Part of it's just play better. I understand, but at the same time, your reward for winning 105 games is playing the team that finished second in your division.
Yeah. Again, I know I just said I don't really buy it too much earlier, but if there was any sport where the rest versus rust argument would come up, it'd be baseball. Because baseball's all about routine. It's all about consistency. And having that week off,
Only helps pitching, really.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, look at the Diamondbacks. Like, they're going off.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, even the Twins had to play in this, in the wild card round, and they really don't sniff the Astros in terms of talent, if we're being honest. But it's 1-1 right now in the 3rd inning in this elimination game.
Yeah.
It could go to 2-2, make it go back to Houston, play that game 5, where, again, if it's a 7-game series, you're like, yeah, who cares if Minnesota makes it 2-2, Houston's just going to go home and win.
Right.
You add a sense of variability when you make it, do or die,
Right.
where, like, the Twins making the ALCS wouldn't really,
Yeah.
be cool,
Yeah.
just because they don't really seem to deserve it. If they reseeded based off of record, the Orioles would have gotten the Twins instead of the Rangers, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's fine. The Rangers played really well, and they're a lot of fun to watch. Orioles just didn't take advantage. Had to win game 1. Had
Yeah,
plenty of chances to win game 1. Didn't do it. So play better, but there's definitely some wrinkles I think they need to make to make the playoffs a little bit better.
Yeah.
But I did try to warn you guys. The Dodgers, the pitching's bad, man.
Yeah, man. Wow.
It's tough.
I liked him, man. I was like, I don't know. Yeah, that's crazy. And also the Diamondbacks. I mean, they're on fire.
They're on fire.
So yeah, I don't know.
A lot of game left.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
I hope the Diamondbacks put them away tonight, but because you don't want to, for the Diamondbacks, you don't want that sense of doubt to start creeping into their mind of, can we really do this? All of a sudden, obviously they killed Kershaw in game 1, but maybe Kershaw's back on the mound in game 4, and it's like, I don't know. And then, things can change pretty quickly, but I am now a Diamondbacks fan. I hope Diamondbacks Phillies NLCS happens because it would be massively chaotic and a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But it just hurts as an Orioles fan because there's not really a dominant team this year.
Yeah.
So there could there was definitely a window for them to do something similar to all these other teams. Diamondbacks, you would never said like, oh, they could go win a World Series, but right now it's like, why not? And Philly's kind of the same way if they can get past the Braves, but more to be seen there. Harper hit an awesome home run tonight. He actually hit a second right before we started taping.
He did.
Monday's game was probably the best postseason baseball game in a few years. Of course, it was happening during Monday Night Football, which MLB just can never get out of their way on because their scheduling's horrible. But I don't blame Harper one bit for trying to score on that. I know he ends up getting doubled off to end the game, but it took a pretty crazy catch. And if he ends up getting thrown out at home or something, that looks way worse. So your odds of scoring from first with 2 outs are probably pretty slim. So you might as well take the shot. So I don't really get people blaming him. But that ending was awesome. Austin Riley's home run was awesome.
Yeah.
And then the Phillies trying to fight back. Those are the games that make playoff baseball amazing.
Yeah.
And
Austin Riley making that play, making like the scoop and throw.
And it's funny, he was just like, yeah, no one could hear me, like saying go back to go throw to first. Like, so he was like, yeah, like, I mean, I was backing them up, but I was also just trying to get closer to them to tell them to throw to first. So he was just kind of there, and all of a sudden the ball finds him, and he did make a great play. Yeah, I hope that series just keeps going.
Yeah.
To me, that's the real NL championship. Like we talked about, they're probably the two best teams. But Phillies knocking them out again would hurt the Braves' soul quite a bit.
Yeah, man.
And it's tough. I mean, play better. I don't know.
Yeah, I was thinking about this earlier today. It's really easy to root for any NL team, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, besides even the Dodgers, I kind of like, but like, unless they're paying for people like crazy, like the Dodgers do,
Yeah.
I don't have beef with the NL teams. So
No,
it's kind of
makes
easy to
sense,
watch.
Yeah, 'cause all the NL teams are sort of like not like that. I mean,
Yeah.
the Phillies, I guess, a little bit. You know, Harper and Trey Turner, but
I mean, and the Dodgers certainly have Mookie and
True.
JD
Yeah.
and Kershaw. And like the Rangers, I don't hate, even though they're a team I should, because they threw all this money at their team, but all their stars got hurt. Like Seager and Simeon are really the only one that are making money. Like, it's so much fun watching Evan Carter and Josh Young and Leotis Taveras like do this on a national scale. And I know Scherzer and John Gray say they might come back. I think that might be a mistake. I think John Gray especially would probably get pretty roughed up. Scherzer's a bulldog, but I don't know how much help they can give.
Yeah.
And it might be more of a detriment to try to pull some of the starters that are hot right now off in the ALCS. But yeah, like, you know, Scherzer, John Gray, DeGrom all being hurt. I'm like, I can't hate this Rangers team. Like, they're all just a bunch of young dudes, like, making it happen.
No, the only team I guess I wouldn't want to see win is the Astros.
Yeah.
And that's it.
yeah, just because they've done it. But even then, I don't know. Like, I just I don't really mind because they're a farm. They're like a homegrown thing, kind of. Like, all their guys they've developed.
Yeah, they don't
So
get
that
enough
makes
credit for
me-
their development.
Yeah, so that always has given me. I've given them a pass for that.
Yeah.
For me, right now, it'd be the Dodgers. Do not want to see the Dodgers at all.
Yeah, me-
Dodgers, Yankees, Red Sox, Cardinals to an extent. I don't want any part of them. Get out.
Yeah, I'm not in on the Dodgers. I'm not in on the Astros. Give me all the young talent.
Yeah, even the Twins, man. I mean, I don't care if they win. That'd be a good story.
I mean, it would be fun. It's just
Yeah.
like they didn't like.
Right.
I don't really like watching them that much.
Yeah,
It's
just
so
they
boring.
can't hit.
Yeah.
I don't know why we took the They can't hit. I thought our Kitty would be a little not great. We'll see. Still plenty of time, but to ease my pain today, I wrote like this whole Orioles offseason manifesto about what I want to see in the offseason. So it helped me get over the loss a little bit. But
So, should we have the awkward conversation about like the present versus the future? Like, so everyone is thinking, right? So we lost, and everyone is thinking like, okay, well, it's the beginning, it's the start of like a new era of Orioles baseball, like young talent and stuff. But do you think there's a possibility that we never get to be the 1 seed in the AL?
yeah, I mean, nothing's guaranteed, and especially in the AL East, like 100. We haven't won 100 games in 40 years. Like,
Yeah, like
you know what I mean? So
right.
and that's what it took to get the 1 seed.
Yeah.
Like, this was certainly on paper our easiest path. It was just the timing wasn't quite right. And even from 2012 to 2016, the Orioles won the most games in the AL, but they missed the playoff 2 of those years.
Yeah.
So it's one thing to be consistently good, but it's another thing to be like the Astros or be like the Braves or the Dodgers that are solidly in the playoffs no matter what every year.
Right.
So
I don't want to compare it to football, I guess. There's no way we end up like the Vikings, right? Win a bunch of close
Dude,
games,
well,
do
that-
really good, then the next season
like,
lose those close games.
We were projected to not have 102 wins. We're supposed to on an analytical standpoint, like our projected wins is like 92.
yeah,
So
which I think watching them all year, it was probably more in the mid 90s that you felt like,
Right.
you know, okay, there was probably a couple games in there that was like, dude, how did you pull that one
Yeah.
out? And there's an art to that, and you know, people that say, and obviously regression is one thing, but you know, people that diminish your results because of close games, I don't really understand. But as long as they do the right things, and obviously losing Felix Bautista is going to hurt for next year. So hopefully they go get like a real closer to fill that role. But as long as they do the right things, the core is so good.
Right.
That it's going to be hard, I think, to not be at least in the mix. But like you're talking about, nothing's guaranteed. They could easily be, you know, the Yankees could go spend $200 million more, or the Red Sox could get Ohtani.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're fighting for second, and you got to go play the wild card series, and it's on the road, and you're out in the first round again, and it's really not. I don't want to say it's not your fault, but it's like these are the circumstances.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I don't know. It does. In a lot of ways, like we compare this year to the 2014 year a lot, but in a lot of ways it's a lot different because our core is so younger, and we really haven't started to buy anybody or go and get anybody.
Yeah.
And you have to think they've got to do something this offseason.
Yeah.
They're not going to sit pat. Like they're going to make moves to get better. Like
it's just crazy because we said that at the trade deadline.
Yeah, well, right. Yeah, well,
we did.
Yeah,
but
and
look
I don't think it worked out anyway.
Yeah, you look at the trades, and because I see that on like, oh my god, we didn't do it. Well, we tried.
No, they were talking about that at the game last night too. The
Yeah.
the announcers were talking about it and saying basically how the Rangers made all these moves, and we got like someone who didn't even make the roster, and then Flaherty who isn't even in the rotation. But when they were saying it, it was like, okay, there's no advantage that the Rangers got from that.
No.
right.
I mean, they went and got Scherzer.
Montgomery's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
And we roughed up Montgomery. It just we didn't pitch well.
Yeah.
And
And we're hitting the wrong spots.
and they got Chapman, who is miserable.
He almost gave us hope.
He did. Yeah.
I mean, he did. He should. We let him off the hook in game one with the. I mean, Santander hit the ball hard, but right at somebody, and they turned the double play. But yeah, I mean, you can act like they did the right thing by getting all these pieces, but Chapman's going to blow a game for them in ALCS or the World Series.
Yeah.
So I don't think the trade deadline was a big deal. I agree this offseason the Orioles got to add something. In a way,
I honestly think they will. Like,
Yeah,
I think if they don't, it's like, okay.
in a way, if it was like if things are predetermined and it was never the Orioles' year to win a World Series, it was kind of good to go out like this because you can see the difference in like.
It's true.
There is a bit of a like. Obviously, the Rangers have like a $200-some million payroll, and we're at like 60.
Right.
So you can see that on the field with just sort of the pieces that they had to go to. So I think it could be a good thing. It could show ownership like, hey, we need to go out and do something. But I also thought we would know more about our prospects at this point. But being so good, we weren't able to like throw them into the fire as much.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. Obviously, have a lot of hope for the future. But it definitely sucks because, God, if the Twins win the World Series, I'm just
Yeah, that's
it'll be a forever what if scenario.
That's true.
But oh well, we're gonna keep watching these games. Playoff baseball, like I said, is awesome, but it definitely hits a little different now that the Orioles are out of it. I don't know what to do with my weeknights anymore. I'm just like
Yeah, that's the worst thing about it, man. Is because baseball is like such a consistent, all the time thing. Like coming home on Wednesday night and just having the Orioles on. It's always something I really look forward to.
Yeah. Hockey started.
Hockey started, and
I did watch it.
Yeah.
You did? Wow.
And I enjoyed it. I was
did.
very surprised.
So, are you a Caps fan, or do you watch it?
No, I'm not a fan of anything.
Yeah.
That's
okay,
the
so
thing.
You just do this. You do one of these. I like it. Okay.
Yeah.
I started gambling on hockey a bit last year, and so did some of our friends. And watching hockey's kind of fun. Like especially that ESPN Plus has like the deal with them, so like you can watch almost like every game, any game you want. It makes it awesome. Like just go in and like, oh, I took the over on. Let me go like watch these guys try to score goals.
The first 10 minutes is a fun one to do.
I did take that tonight. I have
the boost.
Yeah, no idea if it's.
I
gonna
didn't
do well.
because I have no idea what I'm doing.
The Bruins are supposed to be good.
Yeah.
And whatever.
They're usually really good.
Yeah. But like the Knights played last night, and as long as there's goals, like I definitely enjoy it, which is any sport. But if there weren't goals, I probably couldn't watch that. I'm not in it for like the big hits or anything like that.
Yeah.
I just don't.
The fights are fun sometimes, but a lot of those
That's
have gone
weird.
by the
How is
wayside.
that legal?
I don't
Like
know.
legal? Like why do cops let that happen? Like that is not whatever.
There was a famous case where some guy took his skate off and sliced someone's neck,
Oh.
and he did get arrested. But
Oh my
his argument was like, well, it's in the scope of the game, and they were like, no.
That's wild.
But yeah, an NBA will start in a couple weeks, which I'm not a big NBA guy, but I'll tune in a little bit. But Dylan Brooks already getting ejected in the preseason's kind of
No way.
yeah, dude, he went below the belt last night and got ejected. It's ridiculous.
He thinks he's
Yeah.
so above everyone else. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Oh well. Let's head into some college football. Good games coming up this week. We'll get to them. But we'll start with Boomer Sooner taking taking down Texas. We said it would be pretty Texas of Texas to lose that game, and they lost it in a pretty Texas fashion. Mm-hmm. Came back just to play very soft defense and let Oklahoma go right down the field. Oklahoma obviously has a huge upper hand, but it makes the Big 12 very interesting. Assuming they both win the rest of their games the rest of the way, they'll meet again in the Big 12 championship, like we saw with TCU and Kansas State last year. And it makes the playoff conversation another layer. If Texas comes back and beats them, it's, can they both get in? Texas obviously has the better win against Alabama, but Oklahoma has this win. It makes the playoff discussion very interesting. Oklahoma has to win out. I think if they do, they're in.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
Even if Texas beats them in the Big 12 championship. Mm-hmm. But Oklahoma's defense impressed me as I was going back and watching. Get the big turnovers early. Texas obviously gets the block punt touchdown. That game was chaos in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Which the Red River always delivers. So, very happy for my Oklahoma 66-1.
Yeah, I was about to say.
That's down to, I don't know, 10 or 11 to 1 at the moment. So,
nice.
Wow.
Gonna keep cheering for that, but I don't think it's it for Texas. They definitely have a chance to continue. They got to win all their games, obviously, but
yeah, I mean, if Ohio State or Michigan, it doesn't look like it. If Ohio State or Michigan falters, or if they both falter, there's a path for both of them to get in.
Yeah.
So I definitely think this weekend, things got a little clearer if you operate under the assumption of, the Pac-12 not getting a team in. If the Pac-12 beats each other up, the Big 12 is getting in. I think the ACC is going to get one in, and then Michigan, Ohio State, and the SEC.
Yeah.
I think that's your path, and I think.
Yeah, I think Texas might need Florida State to lose or something like that.
Yeah.
If I don't know, gun to my head, I think Texas is probably better than Oklahoma.
Yeah.
They just made too many mistakes.
Yeah, definitely.
But Oklahoma pulled it out. Texas kind of played for a field goal at the end, and then instead of continuing to try for the touchdown, some bad coaching decisions, I thought. But
did they put out rankings for this week yet?
I never look at the AP. They did, but
because Oklahoma was 20 something going into that week.
They were
16.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were 16. I'm not sure. They have to be top 10.
Yeah, I'm sure they're top 10.
USC is 10, and I imagine they would jump USC.
When do they start with the playoff rankings?
That's like the first week of November or something. Like
That'd
3 weeks before the championship.
Okay, that'd be interesting to know, where they see things. Obviously, Oklahoma would be in right now, I would think. Oklahoma, well, I don't know. There's still too many undefeateds.
Yeah.
Oklahoma jumped up to 5.
Wow. Makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. They're probably skating in. I don't think they have anyone tough on their schedule, too.
No, I mean, no one else in the Big 12 is really ranked.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to
Texas didn't go anywhere. They're 9. They moved down a couple spots. Yeah. Down 6.
Oklahoma's going to have to avoid some landmine spots, but there's no one that is as good as them in the Big 12.
Crazy.
So, I mean, I hope they just
man.
They don't mess around and just take care of business and give me a shot at 66-1. That'd be cool. Fun. Dylan Gabriel, I love watching Dylan Gabriel. So
and you put it out there for everyone.
I did. I tried to tell you guys. Now it's a little real. So.
Oh, by the way, shout out. I said on this pod, I'm probably going to take Oklahoma +6, and I didn't. I took Texas -5.5.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Dude,
I 100% did.
I said I wasn't going to touch it because I was just rooting for the 66-1. I still took Oklahoma +6.
Man, I suck.
Ouch.
That was bad. Yeah. So.
Man, I had Maryland +19.5.
Oh man, killer.
I know.
Dude, that was killer. Because after soccer, you talk about Maryland?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So they handled them. They looked like they were really handling them in the first half, and then they pulled a Ravens, and they 20 seconds on the clock, they checked it down. Tagovailoa checked it down, and they ran the clock out. Jesus. So they didn't get and they were in field goal range. Yeah. So they could. I think they went up. They could have gone up 13-10, but it was tied.
And they're throwing pick sixes and stuff.
Yeah, man, it was super ugly. Ohio State didn't even play that well. Maryland just.
I don't think Ohio State's very good.
No, I don't think so either.
We'll see next week. They get Penn State next week.
Yeah, I think they're the odd team out.
I think so too. But Maryland had a real shot to just finally get that big win they've been looking for, but not the case. They didn't even cover, which was
didn't even cover, which is incredible when you watch that first half.
Just the hook.
Cover.
Yeah, that was lame.
That was bad.
That was lame. Other thing that was lame, if you're a Miami fan, what were they doing?
I don't know, man. That's bad. And I was ready. I was so ready to have them come on and talk about them, like the sneak team in the ACC. Like, look what they can do. That was terrible.
Because they were gonna. They have UNC this week, so that was gonna be a battle of undefeated.
Right.
Just kneel the ball. I do think the running back was down, but I think the refs were just like, yeah, you screwed yourself. Like we're not overturning that. But I'm pretty sure his forearm was down. But what are you doing?
I don't know what they're doing calling that play. That was insane.
That's fireable. Like you can't.
Yeah, no, I mean
you can't. I don't care what he's building.
Yeah,
you can't make that decision.
that's bad, man.
It's
So bad.
It's ridiculous.
And he. So I'm like I said, I'm a transplant. Oh, is that one?
Is that gone?
Let's go.
Oh. 3-1.
One
Nice.
away.
One more. Jose Abreu coming to play.
Dang, Nick, did you take the ladder again?
Oh.
He loves his RBI ladders.
Oh man, Houston trying to close them out tonight. Why is Chris Paddock pitching in this game? By the way, oh, it's Thielbar. I thought I saw Paddock warming up. Thielbar's been good for them. That sucks. But Abreu kills lefties. Interesting decision.
I do love Abreu.
What?
They pulled
He
Ryan
played
after-
Jordan and Tucker, so I guess they're going for that.
Yeah, but he's still. Yeah, I guess you're always gonna have to face Abreu. It's the fourth inning. I don't know.
In elimination, are you like throwing everything you can? Like, are you?
Yeah.
Do you right then? Are you supposed to switch?
Yeah. Well,
In the
bases-
fourth inning?
depends on who's up. Yeah, another lefty up, so you leave him for that.
That sucks. Tough spot.
Well, and not to go back to the Orioles, but that's what I was mad. I could not believe Dean Kramer was allowed to face Adolis Garcia last night. Like in an elimination game, he's already given up 3. There's 2 runners on. How do you let him face their best home run hitter? Was crazy to me, but managerial decisions were never going to.
Especially when we were ready to go with long guys.
Yeah.
Extra
Yeah.
long guys.
Yeah.
And no one's warming up. Like, even if Dean Kramer's pitching well, in the second or third inning, you got to have someone ready.
Yeah.
And you've got to be on it, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're about to get eliminated. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
That was crazy.
That's just trusting your guy, I guess, and it didn't work
I
out.
think that's what it was, too. And how many times have we seen Dean Kramer be in that spot, where he kind of sort of pulls it out?
But he didn't trust Bradish in game 1. That's
Right,
That's
yeah,
my thing,
right.
right? Like Bradish got pulled right away.
Yeah.
But Kramer's allowed to face Adolis, and
Yep.
he hits one to the moon. Whatever. Anyway, back to college football. Hopefully we get another run in that game before the 5th. Is Bama back?
Miller looked better.
He did. Maybe benching him is not a good idea.
He was making the right decisions.
Yeah.
Too. Like he was looking like Lamar out there. Just the way he was playing, I liked it a lot.
They might be okay.
Yeah.
They're still floating along, 1 loss. I don't know.
I think they're benefiting from I don't know. I don't think very highly of Texas
Okay.
A&M.
I mean, fair.
But
Fair.
yes, I mean, they won. It's an SEC game
On the road.
on the road.
Mm-hmm.
So, they won.
It was they were down, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken.
Yep.
And it was a close game. They won by 1 possession, right?
Yeah, it was like 26-20. So maybe not fully back, but they're continuing to win games.
I mean, as long as they go, if they win out,
Yeah.
take care of business,
go meet Georgia in the SEC championship.
Here's the thing that would stink is if they beat Georgia, because then it's like, okay, they're going to give it to Georgia, and we're going to have somehow in this mess of a year, we're going to get 2 SEC teams.
Yeah, that
This
can't happen.
Stinks.
Speaking of Georgia, they must have listened to the pod last week.
Oh man,
They decided to come to play.
yeah. That's the last stand for them too. I think they're going to win out.
Yeah.
Cruise to the SEC title game too, which stinks. Which is a complete 180 from what I thought last week.
I've never watched Kentucky up to this week. Were they supposed to be good?
Dude, they play exactly like Georgia. So I kind of thought that they would lose, but I didn't think it would be as bad as it was.
I was looking back in their game logs, and they don't pass the ball
No.
anyway.
Yeah.
They run
So I
the
guess
ball
they're
very well.
they're out of script right away.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought their defense would play way better than
It was just so, like, all these SEC teams do this, right, that are not Georgia, Alabama, or LSU. They have these moments, right, where you're like, oh, maybe they could, Kentucky, big win last week. Maybe,
Yeah.
no. And it's just
No,
never the
it's-
case.
Yeah, absolutely. We should know better.
We really should. Elsewhere, Michigan dominates again. They look like the best team in the country. I think we mentioned it last week.
Yeah.
Very excited for some of their games down the stretch.
Do you want to see Michigan get one? I feel like I want to see Michigan.
It's more funny to me that they don't.
Yeah, that's kind of how I look at it too. And I think it would be better for college football if they don't, because it would reinforce
Wow.
it would reinforce the case that these top tier teams aren't as good as we think they are.
Yeah.
And they kind of be hyped. They're constantly hyped.
I think also if they get it, Harbaugh might leave. Like if he gets his ring, he might go back to the NFL. If he's
That's crazy.
If he's continuing to chase, I think he might stay. Yeah. So I think college football is better with Harbaugh in it.
Yeah, like I don't really mind Harbaugh that much, I guess.
No, I don't either, but
it's just
seeing his face is very funny when they're losing.
That's all accurate, it is. Yeah. I thought I don't know. When they lost to TCU last year, I thought that was like the high water mark for Michigan, but it seems like they're bouncing back like really well.
Yeah.
I just don't like how they're always going to be in it. Like that's what I don't like about it. But whatever, we're switching to, a longer playoff, 12-team.
Yeah.
So that'll cure all of this.
Sure. They're definitely going to always be in that scenario.
Yeah, that's true.
But we'll see. I'm very excited for some of their games down the stretch. We'll see. Obviously, we said Penn State has Ohio State next week, so we'll learn a lot about Penn State and Ohio State, I guess. But we'll see. I'll save that talk for next week. Speaking of third SEC teams, though, LSU.
Oh, baby, they're back.
Their defense is atrocious.
That was terrible. How did they let up 39 to Missouri?
Yeah. No, their defense is very, very bad.
They're in trouble, man.
But their offense is fun to watch. So
it's true. It's why I like them.
Yeah. USC almost loses. Their defense is very bad.
I watched that full game. I think Arizona's pretty actually good.
Okay.
Like, yes, USC's defense is bad, but Arizona was definitely holding their own. They're moving the ball. They're just running good plays. And then looking back, their losses, I can't remember, but they're not bad losses.
Yeah.
Like
they've been playing some teams tough.
And our one's Washington.
Yeah, they played them tough.
Yeah.
But it goes to triple overtime. I remember I was like, I don't know, I like walked the dog. I like went to lay in bed and I was like checking scores and I was like, USC's down 17 to nothing.
Yeah.
You know that money line got hit.
Yeah.
I took them -5.5 and I woke up and I was like, why don't I have a notification that says USC bet hit? And I was like, it went to triple overtime. I had to go back and watch some of it, but
I thought Arizona was going to win actually.
Yeah.
But it's just when it gets to those 2-point conversions, usually
anything
the better
can
team
happen.
pulls it out too.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll see about USC. Their defense is
too
very
has some problems.
Very bad. Coming up this week, Pac-12 galore again, but maybe game of the year, Oregon Washington. I am very excited for that game.
Yeah, me too.
When is that game?
3:30.
Whoa.
Yeah.
5 planned Saturday.
After soccer, I think I'm good. Yep. We'll be done soccer around noon. Go home, watch the college football slate, get ready for that game. That game's going to be so much fun. Seeing what Oregon's defense is able to do against Penix, and then also will Bo Nix stand up and really start delivering on some Heisman hype. I tend to like Oregon in the game, even though it's at Washington, and I talk about how Pac-12 teams have a huge advantage at home. I think Oregon's a little bit better, a little bit maybe more ready for this, but I think the game's going to be so good.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good game. I think this kind of decides the Pac-12, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't get me wrong. The thing with the Pac-12 is like Oregon State, so they're still in it. Even UCLA is still in it. Washington State lost to them last week, but they're still in it too. And so the Oregon, but when you look at like the schedules, Oregon's schedule is rough.
Yeah.
Like the next 4 weeks, they all play like top 25 teams, and a lot of them on the road. So I feel like if they win this game, okay, they can beat all those teams or lose to a lot of those teams. But I just feel like Washington's schedule sets them up better for success. If they do win this game, they're probably going to win the Pac-12. I'm not a big USC guy. I think USC is just kind of getting. There's the way they play is unsustainable.
I think so too. Unfortunately, even though I think Caleb Williams can win any game.
Right. He fights for the bad.
Yeah, he does, man.
Yeah,
he really does.
And his running aspect, like that was my first time I actually really watched him play. He's different.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
He is so much fun. That's why I'm so excited for some of their games down the stretch. I want them to be undefeated because I want it to matter.
Right.
So I am rooting for USC to continue to win those games. But for Oregon, Washington, I think you're right. Like Washington, I don't know where the Apple Cup is this year, if they get Wazoo at home or in Washington, which will make a difference. But Oregon, I know, has a very, very difficult stretch.
Yeah, like I almost think like there's a serious argument to be made that if they win this game, it doesn't matter anyway because they're going to lose. They're going to drop one of these next
might
games.
drop
I mean,
one.
their next 4 games are insane. They play like at Washington State. They get UCLA at home, I think, and then they play Utah. They're at Utah,
That's
which is a
always tough.
terrible place for them to play all the
Yeah.
time. So I almost feel like they're not going to like. It's almost like I don't know. I'm an Oregon fan. I want them to win,
Yeah.
but I think Washington winning would be better for college football
Okay.
because I think their schedule is
Interesting.
going to be way easier.
Fair.
They don't play all those ranked teams.
Yeah. I think Oregon's better. So I think if they can potentially go undefeated, obviously make the playoff, they would stand a better shot at like actually doing something. Penix is awesome to watch though. So I'm not gonna be sad either way. I don't know. I'm leaning towards taking Oregon plus the 3, but I haven't decided totally yet. But that game's gonna be so much fun. Very excited for that. And you said 2 of the teams. Yep,
It's in Washington.
that helps them.
Washington State, last game of the season for them.
Yeah,
too.
it's all,
like
Apple
that's the
Cup's
thing.
always last.
Right. So they're at USC, they're at Oregon State, and they get Washington State at home. So they do have a tough schedule.
That at Oregon State spot is so rough. Speaking of, UCLA does go to Oregon State this week. 2 of the teams you mentioned. Another good Pac-12.
This
team.
is it for both teams.
Both
too.
teams have to win.
Yep.
Um,
Man, UCLA really impressed me. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
That defense is legit.
they do have a good defense.
I thought they were gonna lose. I bet Washington State. I thought
We all
Washington
did.
State.
That was bad. Should have saw that one coming.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, their defense is very good, which is surprising for them.
Yeah.
But, that should be a good one too. And you're right; they both have to have it
Yeah.
if they want to do anything. So, elsewhere, we talk about Miami UNC. That's one of the good games. But USC goes to Notre Dame for the rivalry game.
Sorry.
I kind of saw that.
I did not.
The guy just dropped the first pitch. I don't know. Good.
Anywho, USC goes to Notre Dame. Notre Dame drops one to Louisville. Warned you guys about that.
You did, yeah. I was like,
I was impressed by Louisville.
Yeah, Louisville.
Yeah.
Not bad.
There's a path for them. They could be that ACC team.
Yeah. Probably not. But
Probably not. I'm not saying they will be. I'm just saying.
yeah, they're still alive.
Yeah.
That's all you can hope for. This will be interesting. Notre Dame, I think, obviously has fallen off the wagon a bit. Their offense has not looked very good.
Yeah.
The best remedy for a bad offense might be USC's defense. So I think that game will be interesting just stylistically. Like I said, I hope USC goes there and beats them, but that's going to be a tough travel week going to South Bend. It's probably going to be cold. It's probably going to be windy. It's probably going to play right into Notre Dame's hands. So I think that game will be interesting, even though Notre Dame's kind of dead as we look at the bigger picture. But.
Right. I wonder what the line on that is.
I can't
That's when I'd lean towards Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. You'd think that I don't know.
Producer Alex, can we get a little line ski on
Nice.
that game?
I'm a guess.
Oh, yeah,
Notre
guess the
Dame minus 1.5.
I'm gonna go USC minus 2.
I like this. I'll go USC minus 2.5.
Your price is right at me.
All right, fine. 1.5. A pick 'em.
Wait, what did you say?
The Notre Dame game.
No,
Oh.
the lines.
I have USC minus 2.
Yeah,
I had Notre Dame minus 1.5.
I said minus 2.5 technically. USC.
You're right. It is 2.5.
That's awesome.
Darn it.
But what are you gonna do there? You're gonna take the money line? You gonna take the 2.5? Both those team grows.
I'll probably just take the money line, right?
Price won't touch. for me. Over maybe.
Oh, the overs.
Yeah, I could. Because
It's got to be like 56, right?
I don't know.
Let's run it back. I'm going to go 56.
I think it's probably 60.
Yeah.
USC's
60?
offense is too
Yeah.
good, and their defense is too bad. Give me 61.
60.5. Oh.
Oh.
Final?
yeah.
It's 60.
Darn it.
Yeah.
So by my numbers, I have to take the over.
Yeah.
I have a point of my system says I have my line is a point better to the over.
Yeah.
I'm taking the under then.
Maybe we'll
Right?
tee in a guy.
56.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big lean for you.
Wow. Dude, I'm telling you, 24-10 coming up.
I'd be shocked.
Yeah, me too.
I think that was pretty much it for college football. Like I said, next week we get Ohio State, Penn State, and some other. The games just keep getting better, like
Yep.
as we progress through the season, and things are going to become a lot more clear, especially in the Pac-12, like we talked about. So, Like I said, very excited for Oregon, Washington. That's like appointment television. Can't wait.
Yeah, that's fine.
But now, let's do a little halftime dough.
Halftime dough.
Halftime dough.
Oh,
This is a 10.
yeah.
I don't even care.
So, do you have any fun facts about cannolis, Ben?
They're-
What they're called, maybe?
I
Because
don't.
Megan just threw one at me.
I don't.
What's one cannoli called?
Cannoli?
Do you know?
No.
I feel like I've heard you say it. So apparently,
I'm on the spot. I don't know.
multiple cannolis are cannoli. One cannoli is cannolo.
I have heard that.
That's
yeah.
hilarious. That's awesome.
I'll let you get first picked because you're.
It's true.
Wow. I know people hate cannolis. Like, I don't know. They're so good.
We were afraid that
Yeah.
you didn't like cannolis,
Really?
but I also assume you did. You know.
Yeah, cannolis. I don't like tiramisu, but that's more of me not liking like coffee that much. But no, cannolis are like my favorite.
They're usually.
I'm gonna avoid that one.
You are?
Yeah.
Why? Because it's crispy?
Yeah. No, it's get a good one.
I'll take that. These are bigger than I'm used to.
Yeah.
These are very big. I'm used to the small ones, like the. All right, I'm pretty hyped.
Yeah, I love cannolis.
This is our first time ever doing it, and it looks pretty solid for the first time.
It looks really good. Cheese, the powdered sugar,
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
I don't know, Megan. I'm hearing a lot of crisp,
That's a good cannoli.
but I also hear crisp is good, so I don't.
Yeah, that's good.
That's just a good cannoli. I don't know what to tell you. Like cannolis have a chance to be bad if they're like
That's
soggy. Like I get that, but like a good cannoli, you really can't beat it in my eyes.
That's very good.
Nope. That's impressive.
It really is.
Yeah, that's really good. What exactly is it on the inside? It's not yogurt, is it?
Cream cheese type of filling.
Cream
I
cheese.
imagine.
Yeah,
That's right,
yeah. Huh. Because I wasn't sure how I felt about cannolis. I've had like cannoli dip. I don't know. It's been a while since I've had one.
Like there are certainly times where I order a cannoli. I'm like, man, this kind of sucks. Like, but if I ordered this one, I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna order from that place.
Yeah,
again, 'cause-
this is really good. I like this. Wow.
Now, question. I know on the outside, because she likes to use semi-sweet chocolate chips. Do you think that was the right call?
yeah.
Okay. I think so, too. Because I don't think it's supposed to be a very sweet dessert.
Yeah, it's the semi-sweet of the right call.
Oh, it's very good. Oh. Yeah, I think it's crazy you don't like tiramisu, though.
I'm just not a big coffee flavor person, you know.
That's fair.
So
I respect it. Oh, man.
I think he lied to us about the cheesecake. The tiramisu cheesecake. I think he hated it.
no, that was. I was surprised how much I liked it.
I'm just kidding. 2 outs already? Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, 9.1.
Okay.
This is fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm definitely taking into account, like, how impressive it is to do that. Because that is crazy.
Yeah, that is. I still don't know how she did it. I don't know how they do them, but I'm gonna go 8.6.
I'll go 8-9. 8-9. That's good.
I'm gonna be honest. Like I don't really buy cannolis. Like I typically do go I'll go the tiramisu route or something else. So, but one of the best things ever, Christmas time cannolis. Oh, I love it.
What does that mean?
You get a big old kind of what
Just around
Megan
Christmas
did.
time?
Yeah, I love them around Christmas time. I don't know what it is. It's like Coke during Christmas time.
What do you mean?
So, like no,
That's
not
true.
yeah, Coca-Cola.
I understand, but
The bear wearing the Christmas
I don't know what it is about having a Coke during Christmas time, but it's awesome.
I never drank soda growing up, so maybe that's why.
That's fair.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Me and Clay always share a Coke during Christmas time. It's a great time.
awesome.
Speaking of, man, do you mind?
Share one?
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
You share a Coke?
No, not like together. Like he has one, I have one. We're in the same room. We're talking about life.
The guy won't share craft it, but he'll share Coke.
It's like,
Crazy.
I definitely thought your tradition was like to
goodness.
pour half in each cup and like, oh, this is so cute. And
That would be cute.
it would be.
No, that'd be weird. I would just give him his own can.
Is Alex?
I'm at a 9.
Oh.
Very good. Man, I feel bad.
Oh my.
Dude, I love cannolis. Oh, and you're right, cannoli dip, so good too.
Cannoli dip, I prefer it over cannolis.
I think so too.
I'm gonna be honest.
It's a little messy. It's like a taco, like a hard shell taco.
I still prefer the cannoli. The cannoli dip's awesome, but yeah, no, cannoli's great.
I'm not gonna lie though. As much as I liked it, I can't eat another one.
They're very filling.
Yeah,
They're very, very tough to have.
there's a lot going on in them. Mm-hmm. You know.
I'm struggling.
All right, I'll fill the void while you finish your last bite because we're gonna move to the NFL.
Well, he's got to give a ranking.
He did.
You did? I missed it.
He said 8-9. Yeah.
I missed it. Sorry, team. All right. Go ahead, Ben.
Okay, so yeah, we're gonna move to the NFL. I think this week was the week of injuries because everybody got hurt. Anthony Richardson's out 4 to 8 weeks, which sucks because he's been fun to watch. Justin Jefferson's out now on the IR. That sucks because the Vikings might be dead. Devon Achan, I don't know how he wants to pronounce it now, but he's on the IR. James Conner is out, I think, on IR as well.
Thank goodness, by the way, for I know how to pronounce it. I swear, a chain, whatever. I'm just because he was a menace for DFS.
Yeah, no, what he was doing was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But Jeff Wilson's back, so he's probably going to just like kill everyone's hopes and dreams. But I wanted to start with the Vikings because they're 1-4. Jefferson is, I mean, they're not going to have much of an offense. Why would you keep Kirk? What can you get for him? I don't know, but at this point, there's probably other teams other than the Jets that would line up to take him because he's probably got a few more good years left. If you're a team right on the cusp without a quarterback,
Yeah.
or just go to the Jets. I don't know. Like we've been saying for multiple weeks.
It's true. Yeah, I don't know. I think they're clinging on to the terrible NFC. I think they still think they can win it. They get the Bears this week.
I might lose that game.
They could lose it. I don't think they will. I'm actually probably gonna bet them.
Okay.
Man, I don't know.
But-
I've always been a Vikings truther, and I don't know if they'll win that game.
Well,
The defense is so bad, and
Yeah.
Fields is kind of feasting on bad defenses.
yeah, like the thing about the Vikings is like it's not like they've been getting dominated though. Like
No.
they've been sort of on the cusp every game. Like
And
I didn't expect them to beat Kansas City. I kind of thought they were gonna go 1-4.
I don't want to say they should have won, but I don't know if you guys saw the clip of Algerius Sneed taking off his helmet on the field and the ref telling him to put it back on. After they picked up the flag for the pass interference.
Did you hear Tony when that happened? He was like, "Well, that's a little bit of a gray area."
Well, yeah, because, I mean, DJ Moore in celebration throws his helmet last year, and
Yeah.
it cost the Panthers
Yeah.
the game.
Yeah.
I mean, the Vikings should have had a better opportunity to go win the game,
Yep.
or at least tie it, I guess. So, I mean, they could have won. I hear you. But KJ Osborne as your one, and Madison as your running back doesn't look good, and your defense sucks.
Yeah.
It's just like,
KJ looks scared to have the ball thrown his way. That was crazy.
I don't know, man. Like, you should probably see what you can get.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think Kirk Cousins is done in Minnesota. I think it's fair to say. Like, even if they make the playoffs, like they're just gonna either win a game and move on, and then get dominated by the Niners or Eagles,
Yeah.
or they're going to bounce out, which they've done. I think this has kind of been a long time coming, but I don't expect them to move on from him too.
I actually don't really care too much what happens with Kirk because what about Jefferson? Because he has 1 year left on his rookie deal. He's not signed.
I don't think
He is
they've
not
signed
signed.
him.
No.
I'm trying to do the math. I can't.
No, he was
I
drafted
don't
in
know when it
2020.
ends,
So
but,
yeah,
like-
they
So-
definitely exercise his option.
Yeah, so two.
But like,
Yeah,
he
Yeah, I mean,
definitely has to be frustrated.
they need to rebuild for sure.
And he's not going to rush back this year. Why would you? You're going to be 2-7 by the time you're eligible to come off IR or whatever.
Yeah.
They ain't rushing him back.
Yeah, I don't know.
Look, sometimes life gives you an opportunity to rebuild. Like, in terms of but they come into the season with expectations.
Yeah.
Things don't go their way. Take it as an opportunity to say, okay, let's take a step back. Let's build the team correctly.
Yeah,
True.
And I think it's time for Cousins to move on anyway.
Yeah.
It's time for him to get on to another team. I think
How old is he?
Cousins is like 33.
So he's coming up too.
Well, right. For him, it's like I need to do some winning.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think next year the Patriot, and if this is his last year, isn't it? I think
they can get out of his contract. I think he has maybe one more year, but there's an out.
I've been thinking the Patriots are going to get Kirk
That'd be
Cousins.
cool.
Yeah.
I don't. But so I look at other teams like the Patriots or the Broncos or the Falcons or those types of teams that maybe it's not their year this year, but
Right.
hey, maybe you open up a 3-year window.
Buccaneers.
The Buccaneers,
That's a good one too.
I
I know.
I sold my ticket, by the way.
For
My
the
Baker
Vision?
ticket. My Baker ticket.
Baker.
Yeah.
What, most passing yards?
Yeah, there was no shot.
Yeah.
He's looking great, but he's not getting the passing yards.
I wish I took the comeback player of the year, but
I just feel like Hamlin. We should eventually talk about that.
We'll see when it gets closer.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, he finally got on the field, but
Did he play snaps?
He
Yeah.
played like a snap.
yeah.
But I think he's just going to get it. I think
so,
I've been
but-
that guy, honestly. Like, I can't believe people are putting money on guys like Mayfield.
I don't know, man.
Like, he's
At some point, the voters are gonna be like, I mean, the guy hasn't
done
done anything.
but the NFL is going to strong arm them to make
Maybe.
him the guy.
Maybe.
They're going to be like, you're picking that guy. It's going to be Hamlin.
But what if he does nothing?
It's such a good story for Roger Goodell in the NFL.
Yeah,
they want to prop it up as much as they can. Look at him; he wants to do this. Football's safe. It's not a violent sport. Please keep watching.
I hear you.
Yeah,
I hear you.
I would bet Hamlin. That'd be my. I think he'll.
I
win it.
wonder what it is right now.
It's like minus 180.
It's so bad. Yeah,
That dropped?
he's
Yeah.
super. Yeah.
Well, it was like
He
minus
opened
3
the
or 4.
season like minus 250, right? Something like that.
Yeah. I think Baker still's like 16 to 1. I think 2 was like plus 350, which makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
But I don't know.
2's
man.
another good one.
We'll
Yeah,
talk
well,
about it later. Whatever.
That's fair. Sorry.
But yeah, I don't know. I think the Vikings should move on. Their season's going nowhere. You can probably get a second round pick.
What's their schedule look like? What's their schedule?
It's
look like?
not terrible right now, I don't think.
Yeah, because they've played. That's the other thing about them is like they've played a ton of really good teams.
Yeah.
It seems like if they had beaten the Bucks week 1, we're having a totally different conversation. Like, oh, their schedule's going to ease up. They're going to easily
Maybe.
walk into the playoffs.
I guess if they lose to the Bears, then
yeah, if they
we can
lose,
be-
right,
they
1
can
and
be done
5,
with
it's
it.
like okay.
'Cause
Yeah.
at this-
man. So, at Bears, 49ers at home, at Packers, at Falcons, all very losable games.
Winnable
Like,
too.
Well, yeah.
Winnable too,
Keep
right?
going. Keep going.
Saints at home, at Broncos, and then hold on, sorry.
I can see 3 wins there.
Bears at home, at Raiders, at Bengals, Lions at home, Packers at home. That's it. Where's
They're doing
the
nothing.
second Lions? Yeah, I, mean,
I don't see enough.
I think I'm with you. At Lions and F Lions.
Because you need 8 wins. I don't see 8 wins there.
I don't know,
Yeah. No, they're doing absolutely nothing.
man. Yeah.
Go get what you can get. Get him off your boat. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair.
Can Solano hit dingers?
Not really.
Oh, is this it?
Yeah, 2-2 with 2
Ouch.
outs. Bottom of the 5th.
Wow.
We only need 1. We
3-1
only need 1.
Houston. Run into
Yeah,
one,
we just need
Donovan.
one. I'd cry.
Run into one.
They're
He
coming.
struck out.
Go! Run! Fight! God.
Twins don't fight for the badge, that's for sure. I think they're done. Oh, Alvarez, Tucker, Abreu coming up.
That would have been helpful.
That would have been
That
nice.
would have been awesome.
Oh well. All right. Elsewhere, the Niners might just steamroll everybody.
They're so good. They're so good. They should get Kirk Cousins.
Brock's been pretty good, and I'm a Brock hater, but Brock's been pretty good.
I just feel like I don't know because I started the season on the opposite spectrum. Like, oh, I believe in Brock, and I do. Like, I think they could win a Super Bowl with him. But why wouldn't you add Kirk Cousins?
Because he's been in the system for 2 years.
Yeah.
You develop relationships. You just know what you're doing.
I don't know, man. Like,
Maybe if they weren't in it. And if they weren't undefeated.
yeah,
But why mess with it right now?
fair, I guess.
Yeah, I would agree.
But Sam Darnold? Like, if something were to happen to them,
Yeah,
uh-oh.
yeah. I I think they need to play a different style team that's actually a good team. Like the Cowboys, I think, try to be the Niners, and the Niners are just better at everything.
Yeah.
So, like, I know the Cowboys are, like, trying to talk it. Like, oh, well, see us in the play. Like, dude, you get romped again. Like,
Right.
you have – I think the Cowboys are a horrific matchup for the Niners, which means I think the Cowboys have no shot at making the Super Bowl. So
It's true.
Yeah, it's probably going to be Niners-Eagles again.
Yeah. Which –
And honestly, for the foreseeable future, I think it'll be Niners-Eagles. I don't think that's an understatement. Like the NFC has not impressed me at all.
The Lions have actually – I've actually changed my tune on the Lions. They've actually been pretty good.
Right. Well, they're probably the third best team.
I think they probably
And
are.
honestly, by far, I mean, the Cowboys, I'm not impressed with the Cowboys.
No.
I think they'll beat the bad teams. Well,
Yeah.
they lost the Cardinals. But I still think predominantly they'll beat the bad teams and lose to the good teams.
I think so, too.
None of the NFC South teams, even the Bucks.
No.
You know. Sorry, Andrew. But
Saints look bad.
This week they got back on the wagon.
yeah.
I think the Patriots might be horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we'll.
East, West, Seahawks are bad.
I'm not buying the Seahawks.
And North's bad. Yeah.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
The NFC stinks.
Yeah.
NFC is not fun.
No. But the Niners play the Eagles in a couple weeks, which I think
That'll be fun.
that'll be a good test to see where they're at. The Eagles just kind of keep doing what they do, and they're winning. They're winning games, but not really convincingly. But good for them. They're still chugging along.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's all that matters. But
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, with the Eagles, they kind of impressed me this week. Like they really pulled away from that game, and I thought this was trap game, sort of. Like
Sure.
this was a very good spot for them to lose.
I think so too. But
Because it's like the beginning of a 2-game stretch where you're beating up on like bad teams. Like, oh, we're gonna easily win this, and it looks kind of competitive at first, but they really pulled away.
they did.
But they're the Eagles.
Yeah.
So
they're supposed to.
Yeah, I'll see you in the playoffs with them.
That's
you know?
true. Yeah, I don't know. I sort of like Georgia. I think I need to see see them revert back to their form and be like, okay, this is who they are. They're gonna beat everybody. But like we're talking about in the NFC, there's just not really competition. So they can get away with probably just doing what they're doing, go win 13 games or something.
Yeah.
It's just that Niners-Eagles game might come down to who gets home field, which could be a big deal.
Yeah.
So we'll see from there. We'll go. I always try to go back to the Thursday night game just because it happened so long ago. I feel like we never mentioned it, but the Bears did get on the board. The Commanders, man. The Bears were trying to give that game away too in the second half, and the Commanders were just like, "I'm good. I'm good."
It's crazy, man.
And they just love a few big plays.
Yeah.
Yeah. DJ Moore, Jesus,
Yeah,
that was
man.
crazy. Wow. And good for the Bears. I mean, you got to give them credit. They slang it. They really played. They played great offense.
Yeah.
They did everything they wanted against the Commanders.
Yeah.
And they lost both running backs.
Yeah.
They lost Roshan Johnson got concussed, and Khalil Herbert.
I don't know.
Yeah,
He
I don't know.
tried to catch that ball, turn the other way. I was like, "There's our receiving yards."
Yeah.
I couldn't believe McLaurin didn't get to his number in that game script, but I don't know. Sam Howell, I think is still good.
Curtis Samuel,
Yeah, man.
he was locked in.
He was. Logan Thomas too. I can't believe he's
10
still around.
catches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy, but I think that was like a compounding from the Commanders' decision from the previous Sunday, and sending that game to overtime, I think, had lasting effects, and you saw them come out slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, their secondary needs some
really
work.
bad.
Yeah, like coming into the year, that was going to be their biggest question mark for them, and it's just not.
Yeah,
very
Forbes has not shown to be a first-round pick yet.
Yeah.
He might, but so far not looking great. Other team that started slow couldn't recover. We talked about it last week. The Bills traveling on Thursday was insane.
Yeah.
They showed no life in the first half, and I don't know, it was somewhat predictable. The Bills or the Jaguars stayed over there. Obviously, they played a game in London, stay in London.
Yep.
The Bills don't travel till the last possible second, and they just weren't quite ready. They tried to make a furious comeback, couldn't do it. So they fall to 3-2. The Jags, trying to get back on track. So good for them to win both those games.
Yeah. Who are they?
Yeah, that's a great question.
I don't know. That's crazy.
I don't give them too much after that. Like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
win didn't show a ton for me.
That's true.
And looking at this week, the Ravens traveled Monday, and the Titans haven't traveled yet.
Yeah.
So I'm very interested to see if that's a similar thing. But yeah, Goodell talking in the offseason, like, about why the Jags are staying over there was like, yeah, we're like testing things to see if it's a competitive advantage. And it's like, you're kind of messing with team seasons. You
Yeah.
like I don't know.
It's also going to be a lot for the Jags to recover from.
Yeah.
So it's great for them in the moment. But, like, this week and the week after, there's lag. There's going to be lag.
Are they not on bye this week?
Oh, I
They
hope
play
so.
the Colts at home. It's a big
That's
game.
right. That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
it's not fun.
They get that divisional game.
Do you think he was testing to see like what if the Jags
Yes.
go to London?
Yes, I think not only for
They want so bad to get into Europe.
I think not just for the
Really?
Jags' sake, but for the teams that have to travel there, right? So
Yeah.
As long as the Ravens aren't going, I don't care. Again, I like the 9 a.m. game.
I do like the 9 a.m. game.
I think it'd be so silly, like because you'd have this variability every week.
Right.
But it sounds like it's going to be... Oh, you're just saying, like, every week this season, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I don't know,
It messes with teams, yeah. We just said that.
because all right, and then you do you mess up the competitive balance of the schedule, or do you have to send Jacksonville playing in London, the London Jaguars to Seattle?
Yeah. No,
That's insane.
half the year they're going to have a 12-hour flight.
like
It's 12
yeah.
hours. That seems right.
it's 6 out west and 6 to Europe, so I'm imagining it's about 12.
And also, how invested is England really, or the United Kingdom, in football?
I don't-
Or is it just a celebrity thing for them
I
for
think-
that couple games a year?
It's tough.
I don't think they would support a team for the 8-9 home game. Like,
Yeah.
like I don't think they would root that hard.
Right.
As they just kind of show up and like tailgate, and they all wear different jerseys, and it's just a fun thing to do.
And
a couple.
it's a
weeks
ton
the
of
year.
Americans too. That's
Right.
the thing. It's like other teams' fans. There are a ton of Bills fans in the
Yeah.
audience.
I
so-
see Broncos jerseys, and I'm like, what
yeah,
are you
like
doing?
what's that? Well, it's just people are like, hey, I'm vacationing in London. I
Yeah.
like the NFL. Let's go to London. You know,
Yeah.
I think they should keep it as is. You know,
I
in
agree.
my opinion. But they're definitely
Yeah.
if there's a market there, they're going to put a team there.
Yeah,
eventually.
I think they would have to have put a whole division, like do a Germany team, and then
Oh,
it just
God.
gets super messy. I don't know.
That's true.
Yeah, we'll see from that, but yeah. The Ravens gave one away against the Steelers, part of the sadness of all sports over the weekend. Just ugly. They just need to stop beating themselves because the Steelers are horrible. Somehow they're 3-2. I don't understand because they're bad. Ravens just way too many mistakes. They should be 5-0, which is like good to know. But the schedule
Yeah.
does get harder, so it'd really be nice to have those wins banked.
Yeah.
But they're not banked at the moment, so you kind of gotta, do some damage later in the season. But that's the way it is now. Just wait, so many mistakes. They just let the Steelers hang around. And, ugly football.
Yeah, man, that was really bad. That was I was very upset.
You can't let a team hang around that can't move the ball.
Yeah,
Like, they couldn't move the ball all game,
yeah,
and then they have the
They made
one
one
play
big
where
play.
we're in cover 0.
yeah.
Which, by the way, not great idea.
That was not a good idea.
Marlon just come back from injury, put him in cover 0 against their best
No,
receiver.
on the surface, very bad. But like we were talking about, it was the best case scenario because they were probably going to kick a field
Right,
goal.
like, I think-
later. Like I look at the Eagles doing that against the Commanders as well, and they hit that big touchdown to AJ Brown, and I was like, why are you doing that? Like, all you're doing is giving the other team time to get the ball. You have the field goal set up. You can run the clock down. So, in my opinion, it wasn't the worst thing. If you sack them, you knock them out of field goal range. But obviously, it looked very bad.
Was Marlon pressed on that? He looked very close.
I
to
think
him.
so.
I think he was.
Are you supposed to press on cover 0? Is that just who he is?
Yes,
and that's why.
because you're trying to get the ball out as quick. You don't want him to have like an easy like slant over the middle. You know,
That makes
you'd rather
sense.
them go deep because you're hoping. You're also hoping you're banking on Pickett being able to read. You're in cover 0. I should go deep here, which is another part of the element. I mean, he looks terrible. Like, and so I think they were just. I don't know. I didn't mind that. Like for me, it was way more like the drops. For me, it was just it was terrible, inexcusable, ugly.
The drops,
Dropping 2 touchdown passes back to back is just unexcusable. And then, like, he played a fantastic game, but I don't know if it was the play call to Odell Beckham. I don't know if it was the pass. I don't know what. I think it was a combination of the 3: the play call, the execution, and the pass. But that was just terrible, man. That's the one thing you can't do is have an interception there.
That throw was very bad. He played awesome the rest of the game. I can't stand I don't get it either. Like, there's so many quarterbacks that aren't playing well. But and Lamar plays like Superman for like the games that they win and like doesn't matter.
Right. Like he had played a fantastic game.
And
like,
this is his best game he's ever played against the Steelers.
Yeah, exactly.
And
He had the
receivers
best.
let him down.
I think he had the best passer rating in the league. This year.
He did.
That's
You know,
crazy.
and Odell just gets bodied on that play. He got completely mauled on that.
And it was interesting. I saw Dan Orlovsky doing a segment about that play, and the throw was bad. Like it has to be way more back shoulder. But he was saying that doing goal line fade out of shotgun kind of messes with the timing. So like when he like stopped stopped the tape when Lamar was like throwing the ball, and Odell wasn't even like off the line yet.
Yeah.
So like there was just
So why? You need the 3 steps?
you kind of need the 3 steps to understand. Hey, am I throwing this over the top or am I throwing back shoulder?
Right.
And so without that, it's kind of like a funky like setup. And obviously that throw needed to be way back shoulder. But
Right.
It wasn't. Oh, 3-2.
Couldn't happen last inning.
But yeah, the drops, the center snapping the ball when you're just trying to run the clock
yeah,
out.
I mean,
like
that's the other thing about in Ravens fan circles is like fire Harbaugh. Like Harbaugh's got to go. This is a Harbaugh thing. And to
Why?
me, that's not
he makes some bad decisions, but we don't know how good we have it. And there's
right.
so
I
many
know.
bad coaches.
Like it's all the execution.
Yeah.
The execution is not on point. And I don't know. It just seems like a thing. And I get why people are frustrated because with the Ravens, it seems like we've always had this execution problem. Like the ways that the seasons have ended for the past like 6 years, it's like we're chokers, man.
yeah.
It's like so. I get the frustration, but no, man, I don't think.
But I think Harbaugh's such a good coach to have in the locker room. I would never want to trade that away.
Yeah.
I agree.
Just because we don't win playoff games or the Super Bowl, like
Right.
you can't always.
He's going to need to have some success soon because it's been a long time.
Yeah.
But there's so many bad you watch some coaches around the league,
Yeah.
and it's really bad, man. So, like I said, the schedule will get harder, but they should also continue to get better.
Yeah.
They had 0 drops coming into the week, and now they're 3rd in drop rate, which just shows you how many there were.
I mean, it was so bad. It was gross. It was so bad. And the thing that's crazy, and it is a little worrying, is like 3 weeks ago, I thought it was like, wow, that was so bad.
Yeah.
It's not going to get any worse than that this season. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like they can lose any game.
Unfortunately, that's true. But
So
it does look like if they limit the mistakes, like they're heads and shoulders above a lot of these teams.
Right.
Like I said, the schedule will get harder. Go take care of business in London, hopefully against the Titans.
And we're handling it well so far. The
Yeah.
situation well. At least going to London.
Yeah, because last time we traveled on that Thursday and lost like 40-0 to the Jags. So can't have that happen again. Got to beat the Titans and then figure it out from there.
Yeah.
But I digress. I saw a lot of people saying like the Bengals are back, and I think Joe Burrow did look quite a bit better. That game was close for a while,
And we expected that.
yeah,
I
Yeah,
think
we
we
thought
all
they'd
thought they
bounce
were going to
back.
win.
yeah.
I did.
But he was moving better. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, that game was close for a long time, and the Cardinals are so interesting.
Yeah.
It's very tough to get a read on who they are. They're playing everybody tough, especially at home.
James Conner got hurt too.
And that will
think
hurt
they're
them.
affected
Yeah.
by that.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting. Bengals now sit at 2-3. I can't remember who they played this
The
week.
Hawks, Seahawks.
That's
at
right.
home.
That's an
Big
interesting
game, man.
Yeah. Very interesting for both teams.
Yeah,
They're going to win that.
I think so too.
I think so too.
But I don't know if T. Higgins will be back or not.
True.
I don't know. Probably not.
Jamar was cooking.
Jamar
was.
finally. It's like, he finally burst onto the scene.
He was awesome, which sucks, but
Yeah.
it happens. Super interesting for the Browns this week, just to close out the AFC North. Deshaun didn't practice again today, coming off the bye, which is very weird to me.
Yeah.
So that's
Who'd they say they were going to start?
I assume.
No.
No.
No,
not?
whoever the other guy is.
Oh.
It's
Oh.
not someone bad, but it's not DTR.
No.
They
Oh,
said
really?
it's going to be someone else.
I want to
Killer.
watch more DTR.
When?
They play the Niners, don't
Can we
they?
get a depth
Yes.
chart?
Yeah, the Niners at home. Niners at home.
Dorian Thompson-Robinson against the Niners would be hysterical.
That would be very.
That would also be appointment television.
Yeah.
Whoever it was they would be starting, I don't hate him.
PJ Walker.
That's why.
That's why you hate him. You love PJ Walker.
Season sweetheart.
Wow.
He can win games.
No.
Maybe not with the Browns, but
Not
he
against
won
the
a
Niners.
few with the Panthers.
Yeah, all right.
But yeah, not against the Niners. You're right.
Um,
Why not see what DTR has?
maybe they
Yeah,
were
it's
like,
gonna
that
be
was
sick.
enough.
Yeah. Well, because they think they can win the division.
Yeah.
They think they can make noise this year, so they don't want to blow a game. But it's the Niners. They're gonna lose.
Well, maybe they know the Niners will get to whoever it is, and they want somebody who won't make as many mistakes.
I assume that's the thinking.
Yeah. Because Browns have a good defense.
Yeah.
I still believe in their defense.
Yeah. Coming off a bye, too, so they should be rested and everything. But tough to have that early bye. Come
Yeah.
10 weeks from now, that's
I would
tough.
hate that.
But what did the Falcons do anything to change your mind?
Dude, I took them not to make the playoffs at plus money. So, no, but that's the thing with them is, like, they could beat just bad teams.
Yeah.
And ride and
I don't know,
get into
and I don't know
playoffs.
what to make of the Texans either. Like, I don't know if they're bad
Yeah.
or just, like, they're obviously still figuring things out.
I can say the Texans' defense isn't good against the run. So, playing Atlanta is bad for them. You know?
Atlanta didn't kill it with the run. Bijan only had like 40-some yards.
Really?
Because I had him 100+.
Oh. they threw to him a lot, though.
Yeah.
They threw to him at the backfield.
For sure.
C.J. Stroud made plays to go win the game. Texans defense just let it up. C.J. Stroud looks good, but
Yeah, man. I mean, I think they're feeling good. They're feeling good. They're a little ahead of schedule.
oh yeah, I think D'Amico's a really good coach. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know what the Ritter still sucks. Whatever.
Yeah.
Also, Jordan Love sucks.
So sad.
I don't know.
Why are you sad about it?
I didn't want him to fail. Like, I got no problem with Jordan Love.
Yeah.
I'd like in our team the NFC to be good. They looked like they had a chance. They were
They
scoring
did.
points early on.
Yeah. I don't think it's over for them. That's a killer to lose. Well, you guys know how I think of the Raiders, but that's a killer to lose that one.
Yeah.
But I still think there's time. Like, the thing about Love, it's like, what, his 7th start? You know? I feel like he should get a longer leash. He's not going to because he's been in the league for a while. Like, this is basically a prove-it year for him. But, you know, we'll see. His completion percentage is dreadful.
It's horrible, man.
And that pick was terrible.
Yeah, having Jair Alexander say that stuff, like, what did he say? Something like,
We as a defense, we know
we can't let up a touchdown.
Yeah, we
A
can't
touchdown.
Yeah,
He's been rough.
and I know Christian Watson feasted on deep balls last year, but that was Aaron Rodgers. He's a really good receiver. Maybe
Yeah.
stop just like hoping he catches 60-yard bombs.
Yeah.
Thank goodness he had 20-yard separation on his
I
one
know.
ball.
Yeah.
Like, that was the easiest throw you could
Yeah.
ever have.
It looks very bad for Jordan Love, and that was a bad loss.
Yeah, that was really
That
bad.
was a really bad loss. Just real quick while we're on the Raiders, because they're at home to the Patriots this week, and obviously the Patriots look horrible. Give me the Patriots.
I'm with you. I'm glad you said that. I'm taking the Patriots, too.
Bill Belichick, and I know they lost in Vegas last year because of that stupid lateral.
Yeah, yes.
True.
But I think Belichick runs circles around McDaniels as a coach.
Against all his former coaches. He
Yeah.
does really, really well.
Mac Jones just might not be able to do
Exactly. When you have a quarterback that can't make the plays you need him to make.
I'm thinking they might bench him soon,
anything. It's not this week, though.
Yeah.
They just said they're going to start him.
but they might bench him at halftime.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll take the Patriots this week. Whatever the line is, it's going to be too big. I'm taking the Patriots.
I saw they asked Bill like about the whole quarterback situation. Mac Jones. They probably do every week, but he didn't give like the nonchalant like
no, it
whatever
sounded like
answer.
they might make a change, but today he said
Like, he looked frustrated.
I mean, they lost. The last 2 weeks are the 2 biggest losses he's ever had.
Yeah.
yeah.
But he did say they're sticking with them.
He said today that he's going to start. I saw that Malik Cunningham's only been practicing as a receiver, which I don't understand, but whatever. Yeah, that's going to be so ugly. Raiders Patriots.
Yeah, it's a really gross game.
It's really, really ugly. Cowboys Chargers Monday Night Football this week, I think, will be an interesting test for both teams. Chargers coming off the bye. Cowboys obviously got to get off the mat after a horrific showing. Cowboys probably beat them just because the Chargers do stupid things.
Yeah,
but
they are the Chargers.
I think that game is probably the best game of the week, maybe next to Bengals Seahawks. Have to wait-
Lions Bucks. Lions at Bucks.
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah, it could be a good one.
Yeah.
Royce Lewis just tried to stay at the plate when he had 4 balls.
Dude, he wanted to hit.
I get it. I don't feel great about the Chargers still.
No,
Oh, yeah, that's fine, man.
But I did see Eckler might play, right?
He said he's going to play.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, I think they're the Chargers.
Did you see Jerry Jones's comments?
No.
I don't know why he talks. I mean, he talks to the media all the time, but he was on the radio show, and they were like, "Yeah, like, do you think like CD needs to get more involved?" And he was like, "No."
Oh, I did.
He was like, "I prefer to throw the tight ends."
Yeah, he said we want to spread the ball around.
Like, all right,
I like Jake Ferguson,
sure,
but you got to throw CD the
CeeDee
ball.
Lamb's very good,
Got
and he might not be a 1, which is I don't know, like, and Brandon Cooks I thought would be better for them, and that's not.
Yeah,
been
he
good.
looks old.
Gallup. People try to make Gallup happen, and he's not that guy either. So they got issues. They're not running the ball as well as we thought that they would, but I think their defense will probably give the Chargers fits.
Yeah.
But that game should be interesting.
Yeah.
Both teams have something to prove there. So
I think the Cowboys. Obviously, everyone needs to win. Whatever. I think the Cowboys really need to win that.
I think so too.
Yeah.
It says a lot. If
Well,
they don't.
For their for morale purposes, yes. But in terms of like playoff positioning, the Chargers need
No.
way more.
Yeah, they do.
No, but just to show who they are as a team.
I agree.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that. But it's a good steal.
Oh, he got
come
him?
off the bag.
I thought he got him.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
Man, the fan reactions. That stinks.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
In college basketball, it's the greatest. I love it.
College basketball's going to be here soon, man.
Yeah, man, I'm really excited for that.
Oh, yeah. Or did he strike him out? I don't know what's going on. We don't have the sound on.
Yeah.
They're out of the inning, some way or another.
Maybe. Give me a challenge.
Anything else for this week before I talk Survivor?
I don't think so. I think you covered everything
Okay.
I wanted to talk about.
Cool. Let's talk Survivor. I have 4 teams written. I have the Bills versus the Giants. Should be a lock.
Should be the easiest.
Yes.
Giants eventually maybe might play. Okay, probably not.
And Tyrod,
That's true.
by the way.
Is that guaranteed? It's confirmed?
I saw. Okay.
Tyrod, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I knew right away. I saw there's a lot of people out. So Daniel Jones out. Darren Waller's out. Juan Dale's out. Like they're saying all these people are expected to miss the game. And there was like offensive linemen out too. It's bad.
That's gonna be ugly.
That sounds like a lock.
I like the Ravens. I think that they beat the Titans, and I think we're running out of time to use the Ravens, and eventually we're going to be pretty upset that we don't have the big teams.
Yeah.
The Chiefs Thursday night against the Broncos, which we'll get into our best bets in a minute, but the Chiefs should beat the Broncos on Thursday night. But
and we don't have them for us.
yeah,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
And then Rams against the Cardinals, which I'm not a huge fan of. I know it's a 7-point spread. It's just the Rams, and I know Cooper Kupp looked good. Puka Nacua still coexisted with them.
Yep.
It's just the Cardinals are playing everybody tough in a divisional game. Things can happen. The Rams just aren't explosive. That's the word. Explosive enough to put the game away necessarily.
They're not 7-point favorites in any game.
Yeah. So I just don't know.
That's
I would be
fair.
okay with it.
But
yeah.
they're the big old when you going to use them again.
That's
Yes.
true.
They're the
That's the
absolute
point
on
of
every-
using them.
That's
It's
true.
you're not going to use them again.
understand.
For people who have them, Niners against the Browns, if DETR does play, or PJ Walker, you could definitely use them.
It's true.
We don't have them. And then the Dolphins at home against the Panthers.
Yeah.
They're probably going to use them this week out of any weeks. But
I just forget to write down the Dolphins.
And the Eagles.
for us,
Somewhere, right?
Eagles at Jets, I actually don't like the Eagles. I'm going to stay
Yeah,
away from them
I'm
this
just
game.
No. We should not use the Eagles.
Right.
But I'm saying you could.
But you could. They're a decent amount of that's what I'm saying. This week is cool because it's okay, I really don't hate using the Ravens or Rams. Those would be my top 2 picks.
That's my
think
that's
so,
my
too.
thought here.
Right.
I'd rather make the hard choice right now
I
when
agree.
we kind of like it.
Yeah.
When being week 10, it's we got to pick a 2-point favorite.
Right, because now you're getting into the grind. A lot of people are going to be using, I don't mean to cut you off, Ben. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Would have used Niners, Eagles, Bills, Chiefs all in a row, and so it's we don't want to. You don't want to be those people necessarily.
And you don't want to miss the boat by just doing something stupid. So I get it.
Right, right.
But eventually, one of the big favorites is going to lose. I think eventually, and also you got to start looking at what you got left because if none of the big favorites do lose, the competition's going to go on for a while. So
Yeah.
I want to use the Ravens. I want to use them. I'm just worried they're going to just completely blow this game.
And do we use them against the Cardinals?
that's the thing is they go to Arizona,
Yeah,
which
I
I don't love.
Yeah.
And then the other options are home to Seattle and home to the Rams, which
We'll see.
sure,
Oh,
but
yeah, right.
I was thinking with the Rams one. In my opinion, there's a high chance Stafford and Cup are hurt again by then.
that could be true.
Yeah.
Especially Stafford.
Yeah, that could be true.
They're abusing Matt Stafford. Man. He is slinging the rock.
I just don't know.
Yeah.
And I don't know who the Titans are.
That's the issue.
And I don't know who they are. Are they gonna bounce back?
They love
Yeah.
playing us, too.
They love playing. Right, exactly.
I hear you.
So
I like it.
I think gun to my head, Rams. I'm
It's
sorry, go.
probably the Rams.
Yeah.
Typically, McVay kills the Cardinals, but that was
Right.
Cliff Kingsbury era, so I don't know.
And they just lost Connor too. So that's the other thing I wanted to mention about the Cardinals is James Conner's really good.
Yes.
When he's on the field, he's a really good running back.
And they relied on him very.
They did,
very
and he
heavily.
always ran the ball very well, and
And
every one of
catches
those
the ball
games-
well.
Right? Yeah. He's
never down back.
Exactly. So, and it's pretty convenient that he goes down. And
Don't sleep on my guy Amari DiMercato.
Well, you hear
Well,
the
they
second
think
string?
I know.
Yeah, they think it's going to be.
Dude, I was so proud of myself because I picked him up in
Yeah.
both leagues the last week,
Oh,
like before the Connor news, and because he was playing like 25% of the snaps.
True.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, if they suck, like maybe he gets more run. And I'll
Right.
just pick him up, see what
I
happens.
got hurt, and you said.
And then Connor goes down. And I was like, hello.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh yeah, Keontae Ingram's going to start. I'm like,
Right.
shut up.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, I sniped plus 1,000 for whatever his name is. And it hit.
That's nice.
That was fun.
That's awesome.
All right, I'm going to try that this Sunday.
Careful.
I know, but I don't care. I'm doing
I tried it. It sucked.
Yeah,
I can't remember who I did.
And
But
you're just a sharp.
It misses a lot, but you only need to hit 1 out of 10.
yeah.
Right,
So-
yeah.
Can you pull up the Rams schedule?
Sure.
Did I say that weird?
I know, because they're a team, it's like they should sneak in, you know? That's kind of what I
Just
think.
curious. Do they have Carolina
Another-
at home? or
Yeah.
something?
That'd be nice. Well, the NFC stinks, so they probably do play.
On the road, I think.
Okay,
So-
so I don't like them going east. But
Rams play the Cardinals at home.
Okay.
Then they get the Steelers at home.
Nope.
Ooh.
No thanks.
At the Cowboys.
Nope.
At the Packers. Seahawks at home.
No.
At Cardinals.
no,
Browns at home.
No.
Ravens
No.
on the road. Commanders at home.
maybe
Saints at home.
no.
And now we're into like week 16. At the Giants. At the
we're
Niners.
assuming it's done.
Yeah.
I'm not even. When I look at the schedules, I'm stopping week 15. That's usually where I'll stop.
They have a nice little stretch in that. Those 2 home games right before.
What was Seattle?
No.
Commanders Saints.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe Commanders.
But I'd rather do this than
Rather
Commanders.
do the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But
I mean, if
again-
you're using them.
Divisional.
Yeah.
It matters.
Right, and this is the everyone's going to use them because you're never
Yeah.
going to use them, and
And
they
this is the
lose.
Cardinals stand-up week.
It's the Giant, yeah, exactly. So I don't know.
How
But
the Rams do this week?
They lost the Eagles.
they lost to the Eagles pretty convincingly.
Okay.
They
but
might be
they-
beat up from that game too. The Eagles are so physical.
Well,
Yeah.
What I saw early is they were cooking.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
they were doing what
they
they
throw
needed.
the ball very well.
Yeah.
They can move it with the pass, and I'm actually comfortable using them in this game because I think the Cardinals down Connor. Their offense is going to be not as efficient, and Dobbs looked pretty bad last week. It was his first not too great game.
He just fights for the badge.
He does.
Mike hates it. Wang, can we hear your take on this? Do you like the Rams? Are you scared to do the Rams?
I think I like the Ravens better.
This is going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
In the group chat.
Yeah.
this will be a tough one.
I think it's pretty split. I understand. I would use
Yeah.
the Rams.
For
It
the-
makes sense. But you're right. I think want to see if we can find some percentages because if it's like 12 to 15% for Rams, there's no point
Yeah. Well, right. That's the problem.
because you're like, okay, sweet, go make that dumb mistake. You're
Yeah.
like, everyone else go make the mistake.
Yep.
Wait, you're saying 12-15 is too high?
Yeah.
It'll probably be more.
I think it's going to be like 30 or
It's-
40.
Yeah. You're
Then
going to get
I
a lot
think
of
you got to do
people.
something because I think that's the game theory play. Because why in the world would you take a game?
The grid has 13.
Okay.
They have a
I will be able to see on MGM too. That shows early.
I just think if it is 20 or above or something, like you make it, you just hope the Cardinals show up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that makes sense. Any 20 or higher makes sense. Below 20, though, it's usually
Yeah,
I'm usually cool with whatever.
that's fair.
I just think you're going to the grid is saying Miami and Buffalo, which makes so much sense.
I mean, yeah,
you're going to get so much Miami and Buffalo. That's that's already 50%.
But like I said, next week is a train wreck,
Yep. Yep.
and we
You're not
could use Buffalo at New England next week. Like that's gonna be good to have.
Yeah.
But yeah, if that's what's needed, because like 6 teams are on by next week, I think.
6 teams are on by, and then all the bad teams play each other.
Yeah. And all the good teams play. Like the Dolphins play someone good.
Yeah, the Dolphins are at Philly.
Yeah,
That's right.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
Atlanta's like at Tampa Bay, which is gross. San Francisco would have been nice to have. They play Minnesota.
I think I could see Minnesota winning.
Yeah, I could.
That'd be awesome.
I could see Minnesota winning any game.
I know that's
I don't know. No,
Jags
but
in a-
no yeah.
Jags in a pick'em versus the Saints. Sign me up. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Like what are we gonna do? We have to think about that.
We're probably gonna use Buffalo and be super, super upset about it. Or we could fade Pittsburgh and pick the Rams, which I think I'll do. Seattle at home against Arizona.
Yes, that's the one. That's the one I put in preseason.
Yeah.
So preseason, I put Seattle in that spot.
Ugh.
you could hope that they beat
The Cardinals
Rams.
will win one of these two
Yep.
games. They will win one of these two
You think
games.
so?
Just
I don't-
hopefully it's not our game if we pick the Rams.
Yeah, I think they definitely can. Like,
There's also a case to be made that the doors have fallen down,
they could be.
and they're selling now.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do
either.
they have 2 wins?
One.
They've won.
Okay.
They've just been.
I think
in
just that.
all of the
That's
games.
what I'm worried about. Is it's their
Yeah.
last stand. They got two divisions.
They have to win.
They
This
have
game,
two divisional
yeah.
games, and they're like, it's right now.
How's their coach? The coach is new, right?
He is.
I
but
kinda
kinda
like
like
him.
him.
No. But I'm just saying he's on the hot seat. It's not like it's
No.
Kingsbury trying to go out.
No
you know?
way. No.
Yeah.
I wish it was
That-
Kingsbury.
I'm saying
man,
that
'cause
helps.
Kingsbury was terrible.
Because if the coach is fighting for it, then we're in trouble.
Well,
And the coach wants to show that he can win.
still a first-time head coach. Yeah.
There's, yeah.
Oh man, next week is so bad. I think we're using the Bills, and we're gonna be so upset about it.
All right, to take
Well,
the Bills
to be
off.
fair, the Bills don't really have that many good games.
Exactly. It
They-
was either this week or next week
it
for the
was-
Bills, or week 13
Yeah,
or something.
or week 11 they get the Jets at home. They get Denver at home week 10.
That would be nice.
That'd be nice.
Week 10, I think.
Week
is
10 you're good because you have Dallas. They get the Giants at home. Cincinnati gets
Nah,
Houston at
That's the one. And then Nick was like, the Stroud boys.
home. Yeah.
The Bengals are going to be, in my opinion, as long as Joe Burrow is playing, they're going to be in stride right then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's gonna
I would
happen.
imagine so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're one of the teams that's going to be nice to have. Like them in Detroit. Detroit
Yeah.
is going to be nice to have.
Hopefully.
Kind of. It's kind of like I wish we used Detroit, in
I
my
lo-
opinion.
I think we'll be glad we have Detroit in like
Yeah.
week 11, 12, 13. You could use them against Vegas week 8 too.
Yeah.
I hate Vegas so much. They're
I'm
so
telling
bad.
you, they're not that bad.
They're
so
dude, they're
bad.
so bad.
How
They're
could just the
terrible.
coaching? It's just the coaching. If they had a top 20 coach, they'd be good.
But
But they don't.
But they don't.
Okay, I know. I know.
The defense is horrible. Jordan Love made them look good somehow.
I don't know how
He made Marcus
they-
Peters into a serviceable
But
corner
their
in the year of
offense
2023.
is great.
It's bad.
They're just not coached well, and they run bad plays.
I understand. You can just say Jacoby Myers is great. He is great.
He is great.
And Devontae Adams is
I'll be
great.
honest.
I
Yeah.
understand. They just can't throw it to him.
And they got Josh Jacobs. He looked better.
Dude, that was a sweat.
All right, keep moving.
It sounds like we're taking the Rams or the Ravens.
Yeah, we'll decide.
Ugh.
But do we agree probably using the Bills for next week's probably the right call?
At least save them for next week. We'll see.
At
see
least
what
save
happens.
them to see what happens. Yeah, I mean, an injury could happen, and then you don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we can't use them this week.
Yeah.
Okay.
A road divisional game
I
next
know.
week.
We'll see
Yuck.
next week. Hopefully we survive until then. But let's talk Thursday Night Football. Best bets. I'll go last because I want to talk about mine because I have multiple that I like but don't love, so I want to talk through them. So I don't care who starts, but go ahead.
I'll start. So, and we talk about overall record. 2-1 for the hook and barrel parlay.
Yeah. Last week was a little rough. The one we talked
That's
through.
3-0.
The one we talked through. That was the only one we hit. So that's why I kind of was like, maybe
Well,
we should-
both hit. I think, right? Didn't both yours
They
hit?
did.
Yeah.
His pass attempts.
He threw like 40.
Yeah. And then, Howell went like 47.
That's
Something
right.
ridiculous.
That makes sense.
And then Justin Fields smashed his.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, yeah.
and also, I'm soft. I didn't even take the plus 200 by itself, or the 200 plus by itself, which was plus 120. Which
Well,
was
he
sad
threw
about.
almost 300, right?
Yeah, he did. He did really good, dude. For him to throw like 275 was like plus 220. Something crazy.
I would imagine way more than that.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know.
It was. I think it was something.
It's juicy.
Yeah.
But either way, this week I probably will take the individual ones also. Probably should
Yeah.
do that because I've been
Yeah.
taking the parlays every
Yeah,
week
that's
instead.
true. With the boost.
Yeah, man. The boost.
Obviously. But yeah, I'll go ahead and start. So it's an ugly game,
Yeah.
Super ugly.
especially on the Chiefs' offense, actually, because there's just so many options. All the receivers get like 30 to 40%, except for Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who I'm not taking because he doesn't get the ball thrown to him.
No.
And when he does,
He plays the most, though.
he plays 60-some percent of the snaps.
He must be a good blocker or something. I don't
He
know.
must be.
I don't know. Or like he opens up things on the deep routes, whatever. Instead, I'm going to take Justin Watson over 20.5 receiving yards. So he plays 44% of the snaps, which you see that number. I'm a snap guy. That's not great.
Yeah.
But it's enough for that kind of offense. Usually I think when he's in, they are throwing the ball. So like he's in on effective plays. His game log is 56 yards, 5 yards, 51 yards, 62 yards, 45 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I'm just worried about game flow maybe here.
Yeah.
But 20.5, give me the shot on that.
Okay. I can. Typically, he gets that in one play. Like if he gets
Exactly.
the
Right.
ball.
Yeah. If he gets.
Yeah.
It stinks too because Rasheed Rice was the guy I was looking at, but obviously he had the pretty big game last week, so now all of his lines are just way up.
He's also only in the 30s for his snap share.
Yeah. So
they make no sense.
No.
That's why I don't love anything. Just
yeah.
And one little just bonus thought. I like the shot at MVS. What is it? Correlation under receiving yards, but over receiving yards, under receptions.
Oh.
That could be fun.
That's
Do
fun.
a little alt there.
Okay. What's his reception? It's got to be 1.5.
1.5. Yeah, so you're saying one catch for I'd say 40. I'd say take a shot at 40.
My play is I actually have an under, which is super gross. And of all the plays I've made, this is probably the one I'm least confident in.
Okay.
But it's actually the most juiced. Under Isaiah Pacheco rushing attempts. The line is 16.5.
I saw that. That was almost mine too.
Yeah, dude, 16.5. He's done that one time this year. The one time he did was against the Jets. And if you remember, they had that long extended drive in the fourth quarter.
Yes.
He had 5 carries on that drive alone. And that was in a close game where Zach Wilson was playing well, so they're doing everything they can to, okay, let's just get out of here. Every other game he's gone under that. They rotate their backs very frequently. I think he plays 55 or so % of the snaps. So yeah, I really like his under. I think a 27-17 sort of game range is kind of where we're headed. I almost went Broncos spread. Not gonna lie, it's 10.5. I think they lose by 10.
You know what's crazy? For that bet, I actually like the blowout more. Not the 10-point game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
When they blew out the Bears,
Yep.
it was 41-10.
Yeah.
He didn't get it there. He wasn't even close. He got 9.
Even close. He got 9.
Yeah.
Because they put in CEH. Right. So
Exactly.
they rotate their backs.
We love that.
They're super invested in him being healthy.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't think if it's a blowout, we're safe.
I'm a huge fan of that bet.
It would have to be a close game, and the Broncos, they're worried about the Broncos offense, I think.
I can't remember if you said this, but the one time he got it, he only got 17.
You're right. Yeah, I think it was 20.
It was 20
for the Jets.
Ouch.
Yeah, but again, in that fourth quarter drive, that's where he got it.
Yeah.
When they were trying to kill the drive. So I like it. I like the under, which is gross. I hate unders, but
I agree
with
with
it.
I'll ride it. One of my 3 was Pacheco over 16.5 rushes.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
What's your thought? What's your thought on the counter?
Yeah, well, yeah, you gotta.
So my thinking behind it, and this I didn't. That was my first bet I liked, but I didn't lock it in because I had concerns. But you mentioned the one game against the Jets, close-ish game.
Mm-hmm.
He goes over. They do rotate their backs, but they only hand the ball to him. Jared doesn't get rushes.
One rush.
He gets his 1 rush a game. CEH really doesn't. It's 3 unless it's a blowout.
Yeah.
Last week he had 16, so it's right on the line. I was worried that they don't use Kelsey as much because he's coming off a little bit of an injury.
Sure.
Worried that they have the game plan a little bit slimmed down on a Thursday night. They just trust the run game because they know they're going to beat the Broncos. That was my counter.
That's fair.
It is a lot.
It is.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
a lot.
a lot.
It's a lot.
All right. That's why I didn't lock it in. I'm fine with riding it.
One thing I will mention too is the Broncos defense bad all around, right? And they got gashed last week against the run.
Yeah.
But they're really a defense you pass against.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs pass at a pretty league high rate, very high.
They do.
I don't know. We'll see.
I like it.
I like it.
I'm fine
But
with
it's
it.
juiced.
It is juiced. It's minus 130, which is
Oh, never mind. I thought it was minus 150. I'm cool with that.
Minus 130 right now, but tomorrow it'll probably be.
Yeah, I don't know.
When we change the line, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just worried they'll move it to 15.5. Then it's
Yeah.
Because he did get a 16er.
Maybe that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. All right. So that crosses one of them off my list, and I'm looking at these now, and I'm like, these are ugly. All right, so I have 2 left. First one's also an under, and it's to what you were talking about earlier. But I looked at Kadarius Toney under 3.5 receptions.
That's fair.
Snap count is horrid, as we talked about. But the issue is he's very much on the same level, I think, as Wan'Dale Robinson.
Exactly.
Where when he's in, he gets the ball.
That was my thought.
Which sucks. It was just man, he did it for the first time, I think, last week. He got 5 catches. And it was for 26 yards. It was so ugly.
Mm-hmm.
My other one, I guess, how many points would you say? You said 27?
27-ish.
Yeah.
What's the line? Are you able to hook us up there, Producer Wayne?
The actual
Alex?
spread?
The actual spread was minus 10.5 for the Chiefs, which is I liked. The Broncos played them tough last year.
They did.
You know,
They did.
the first game not so much.
Wait, so what do you want? The point total?
Yeah, the point total. What's the point total?
It is 50.
50.
Should be.
Man, I'm Mr. Under today.
47.5.
Oh, okay. So that's yeah. I'm still Mr. Under.
Interesting. My thought. So the Chiefs team total is 29.5. I thought they scored. I thought they'd score 30.
Yeah.
And the race to 30 was a better number than just taking the Chiefs over point total.
Interesting.
So my thinking was take Chiefs race to 30 because they're going to win. And if you think they go over 29.5, then they're going to hit that number.
What was the number?
Even money.
So 25 is not going to help us.
No. It did
What
not.
are we doing?
Mine are super.
It's a good thought.
Yeah.
I am super in to talk about any other bet.
Okay.
Interesting. I'm afraid with Tony, they're just trying to get him involved.
I know.
And confidence.
Yeah.
Like that 5 for 25 actually scares me.
I know. Especially for receptions.
And you never want to go with the pattern. Ugh, but that's not much of a pattern. It's just one game.
I was trying to think of what else I kind of liked.
I'd have to pull it up on my phone.
Let's do the race for 30. I like it.
You like the race for 30?
I like it. I think they're
It
in
makes
the 30s.
sense to be, if you think about correlation. Under Pacheco rushing means they're probably throwing a bit more.
Yeah.
Over on Justin Watson hopefully means he gets a long one. It correlates a bit.
If they only score in the 20s, Pacheco will probably get it.
And I know the Chiefs aren't doing that this year, but the Broncos' defense is so bad.
I guess I'm just still clinging on to the coattails of their defense being decent. You know, like I just can't believe their defense is as bad as it is.
I know.
You know what I'll say? Call your shot. Call your shot.
Dude. Oh, man, I have no idea. I was thinking race to 30 as well, but it's ugly.
Race 30, if that's the play.
All right.
If that's the play.
That's the play.
All right.
Give the summary right quick.
We have Chiefs race to 30. We have Isaiah Pacheco under 16.5 rushes, and Justin Watson over 20.5 receiving yards.
Cool.
Lock that in. I will lock that in right after this.
Yeah, right after this.
The boost.
Throw that boost on there. I am very scared for this now. I'm glad we took Tony off, though, because I might use him for our little reception ladder. Not going to lie. If it's
That could be fun.
If it's like 2+ receptions.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't know. I haven't looked at the numbers for that yet. We'll see. You guys got anything else before we get out of here? One last update. It's 3-2 Houston in the top of the 8th. Looks like we'll see. Twins already brought their closer in.
They could win.
They could win. But,
About to get the top of the order, though.
yeah. Oh, okay. I thought Maldonado just got a hit, and I was like, that's bad. Looks like Houston's probably going to move on. Set up the All-Texas showdown. Quick score update on Dodgers. D-backs, did they start yet? No, I guess not. Zeros. All right, we'll see if the Diamondbacks can close them out. But other than that, enjoy the week of football. Enjoy the continuance of playoff baseball. I'm going to cry myself to sleep tonight. We'll see you all next week on Hook and Batter.